What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about productivity, how to be productive. And this video will be especially useful for people that are new to productivity. But I guess anyone could get some insight from it. This is just my experience with productivity, being productive, and everything that goes into it. So it's actually pretty simple. Productivity, it's actually a pretty simple subject to talk about. There's only a few aspects of being productive, and I'm going to cover them, and it breaks down into three parts as far as the way that I'm going to talk about productivity. So, first of all, productivity comes from having hobbies. It comes from having a sense of direction. It comes from having clarity of direction, clarity of not necessarily purpose, because people get too kind of OCD about this. You know that people get really freaking OCD about setting goals and having a purpose, and they start watching all these self-improvement videos, and they watch a million self-improvement videos, read a million self-improvement books, but they're kind of just, it's kind of just a mental masturbation for them, you know? For me, I think self-improvement and productivity is a lot more simple, and I don't think you need to read a million books on, how to improve yourself and watch a million videos. It starts with just having hobbies, man, and that's what I was saying is I think people, they make it too complicated. They make it way too complex, because you start watching all these motivational guys and the self-improvement and the blah, 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 blah. You start buying all their ebooks and whatnot. And you start hearing words like goals and purpose and direction and motivation and inspiration and drive. And you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. You got to be disciplined. You got to be motivated, dedicated, inspired. You got to be productive. You got to grind. You got to work hard. You got to improve yourself through discipline. And, you hear all these words, and hey man, you got to have goals. You got to know what you want in life. You got to have goals. You got to come up with an action plan to take yourself there. But I think that's all kind of stupid, because you don't really need any of that stuff. And then people get too conceptual about the whole process, that people get too caught up in their head about, they're trying to intellectualize something that is just very common sense, basic, fundamental. And then, so that's what I'm saying, people get so OCD about it, trying to intellectualize all of these quote-unquote self-improvement concepts. But I'm going to explain how it's a lot more simple than that. Because, man, it's like I said, you come up with a million ideas, like a million concepts about what you need, all those things that I mentioned, which is things that the self-improvement authors and video people talk about all the time. But it's making it too confusing for you to understand. So my approach is going to be way more simple, and I'm just going to share it. It's really fucking easy, bro. It's really easy to be productive. Although it does take time to make the switch from a lazy lifestyle to a productive lifestyle. But it's very simple. So it just starts with having hobbies, like I said. Starts with having hobbies. Just figuring out things that you're interested in. Now, I'm not you, so you got to figure this out for yourself. Well, what do you care about? What are you interested in? Okay. Well, even if you're struggling on NoFap, even if you're in a flat line, even if you have no energy, even if you're depressed, even if you're whatever, don't have a lot of free time, whatever your situation is, okay, well, there has to be at least one thing that you're interested in. And there's guaranteed at least a few things that you're interested in, because everyone is interested in something. Even if you're depressed, even if you have no energy, even if you're lethargic and unmotivated, even if you're lazy, even if you're in a flat line, even if you're busy, everyone has at least a few things that they're interested in. Now, the way that most people go through life is, I don't know, they don't have a clear sense of direction. They don't have things that are clearly defined, clearly laid out. And this is one reason why they're not that productive. So the step one of being productive, as far as what I've done in life, is you just got to get clear about what you're interested in. I mean, you have to sit down and kind of think about it. Because, the way that most people go through life is they don't ever really put a lot of effort into contemplating their purpose and their goals and what matters to them and what do I care about and what am I interested in. So all those, self-improvement authors, they're telling you the right things, but all that I'm saying is it's not so much about discipline. That's kind of what I'm trying to tell you, because people start to feel overwhelmed. I'm sure this has happened to you. You start getting into nofap and self-discipline and self-improvement, and you can feel overwhelmed with trying to improve yourself and trying to improve your life. It can feel overwhelming because there's a lot of shit to work on, a lot of shit to do, a lot of stuff to figure out, etc. But it's actually more simple than it's more simple than all of that. It's more simple than you might think. And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to tell you. So you just got to sit down, man, and come up with a list of some things that interest you, some things that you're interested in, hobbies. I mean, productivity basically, it breaks down into a few pieces. On one hand, productivity is making good use of our free time. And on the other hand, productivity is doing things that we need to do and things that we ought to do, such as, work, school, business, as well as self-care, self-help, and taking care of yourself and maintaining health in your life. We got all that on the one side, and that's, everything that you should do and everything that you need to do, everything you ought to do. And then on the other side, you have your free time, your downtime, which being productive means making the best use of your free time. And those are basically the two categories of being productive. So I'm starting out talking about our free time. What do we do in our free time? And, me personally, I typically practice guitar for, about 8 to 10 hours every single day. I study foreign languages. Well, I only study one. I only study one foreign language. I'm learning Japanese. And I study about, not too often, but an hour or two a day, and that's the majority of my time. The majority of my time I play guitar. That's my main hobby. It's my main field of interest. And when I tell people that I tend to practice guitar for, 6 to 10 hours every single day, they think that I'm really disciplined. Wow, man, how are you so disciplined? How are you That's their question. But it's not that I'm a disciplined person at all. It's just I have nothing better to do with my life. I have nothing else to do. I have no girls to hang out with, no friends to talk to. And I got nothing else going on, you know what I mean? It's Friday, I ain't got no job, and I ain't got shit to do. And right now, I'm just living on my savings, and so I don't have a job right now. I lost all my work due to COVID, and I'm just living on my savings. And that's what I do. I play guitar pretty much all day long. I've been playing guitar, this has been my routine for almost a year now. And I've mixed it up, sometimes there's been times when I've studied Japanese for 8 hours a day and played guitar for 3 hours a day, I've mixed it up, and I keep mixing it up, but, I've stayed consistent being productive for the most part and stayed consistent with my routines. And people always think, how are you so disciplined? That's like the number one question. How are you so disciplined to just sit there and play guitar for 10 hours a day, or study Japanese for 5 hours a day, or stretch for 3 hours a day, or, eat healthy? How are you so easy to eat healthy? And in this video, I want to explain how it's very simple and anyone can do it. And it doesn't take discipline. It just takes time of forming the habits. That's all it is. It's just a routine this is just a routine that I've fallen into. So it's not that I'm more motivated or disciplined than anyone else. It's just this is my pattern that I'm in. This is the routine that I've created for myself. And I'm going to explain how I did it and how you can do it too. It's very easy, very simple. But my general point that I want to make right now is I don't have extreme levels of discipline. I have clearly defined hobbies. So if I asked most people, what are your hobbies? Most people would kind of struggle for a minute or two, yeah, I guess I do this and I do that, and I guess I'm interested in this, and, if people asked me what my hobbies were, I could just go right off the bat, boom, 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 boom. These are my hobbies. I wouldn't have to think about it. I wouldn't have to scratch my head. It wouldn't take me any time of contemplation. Well, what are my hobbies? And, what am I doing with my life? And, what am I interested in? I guess I do a bit of this and a bit of that. And, just this and da-da-da-da. Well, I guess I just watch this and do this. And, for me, if someone asked me, what are your hobbies? I could just tell them, boom, 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 boom. This is my hobby. This is my hobby. These are my hobbies. This is how I live my life. This is what I do. This is how I spend my free time. This is what I'm interested in. This is the direction I'm going towards. These are my goals. And this is what I care about. And this is what I do. It wouldn't take me no hesitation. And I could just clearly spell it out. Boom, 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 boom. It's all right there. This is what I do. And this is who I am. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so productive. That's one of the reasons why I don't waste time. You see, man, I go to sleep about, 10 o'clock every night. Ideally, maybe I would like to go to sleep a little earlier, but that's typically my routine, go to bed at 10, wake up at 7, or, get up at 7, and, turn on my computer at, 8, and then I just go, start practicing my guitar and start being productive and start doing my things, and I just go with it. And the reason why I can live such like a seemingly structured life Well, the thing is, my life is not structured at all. That's the thing that people don't understand. Because when I tell people how productive I am, the first thing that pops into their head is, oh, this guy has a routine, this guy has a schedule, this guy has a plan, this guy has a, they think I have like some system that I'm working on. But I don't. My life is completely free flowing. I have no schedule, no system. I go to sleep when I want, I get up when I want, I do what I want, and that's it. I have no plan, no schedule, no routine, no pattern. Well, I do have a pattern and a routine, but it's not set in stone. There's no schedule to it. But that can't you see, like, that's the mindset that people are coming from, like, oh, this guy must have such a rigid, extreme, disciplined schedule. But it's not. What I'm saying is, part of being productive is simply knowing the specific details of your hobbies, your goals, your interests, your passions, what you care about, who you are, what matters to you, the life that you want to live, the things that you care about, the direction that you want to go in. When you answer all of these questions, when you figure out the answer to all of these things for yourself, you just naturally become a productive person. Because what else is there to do? Like, I don't want to watch TV anymore. I used to watch so mmany hours of TV, but it's like, it's just boring to me. Like, it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. Like, that's not my hobby. It's just boring. It's just boring to me. That's why I don't do it. And like binging out on watching porn, like, I don't do it because I'm disciplined. I mean, I don't not watch that stuff because I'm disciplined. It's boring to me. You know what I mean? It's fucking boring. I'd rather sit and practice my guitar because that's what I care about. It's like, instead of staying up late and eating junk food and eating all this shit food and staying up late watching videos on YouTube and fapping to porn before I go to sleep, it's like, that's just boring to me. Because my goals are so clearly defined, my hobbies are so clearly defined, it's like I'm not interested in doing that. I'd rather just, for me, I find more enjoyment in going to sleep early, waking up early, and just playing my guitar, because that's what I love, that's what I care about, that's my passion. Now, I didn't start out that way, but that's the place that I've gotten to, because as I said, it takes time to change an old pattern and create a new pattern. That's the pattern of my new life that I'm living now. It's not the pattern that I've always had. So I'm going to explain how you can easily get there as well. But it starts with just coming up with a list of a few things that you're interested in. And people always ask me, how are you so disciplined? How are you so focused? How are you so motivated? How are you so driven? How are you so hungry? How do you just go for it every single day, being productive? And the only thing that I can tell you is that I have nothing else better to do. Like, I have nothing else going on with my life. And that's what I learned about guitarists. I learned that, you see these people on YouTube that are just so good. But I realized something. It's not that these people are the most driven and motivated to be the best guitar players. It's just that for them, like, they have nothing else to do but play the guitar. Because I realized that once I just created a routine of playing for 10 hours a day, that's what I realized is that, well, these people just, like, for them, they have nothing else better to do. Like, playing guitar is just, is the only like good thing that they have in their life. It's not the only good thing they have in their life, but it's just the most reasonable way that they think to spend their time. Because like they have nothing else to do, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, well, what am I going to do? You know, like that's my point. When all of these great guitarists are just sitting in their room and they think, well, what am I going to do? What do I do? What should I do today? It's like, well, what the fuck else am I going to do but play the guitar? You know what I mean? And that's how the mind of a musician works. A lot of these people that see musicians, they think, wow, this guy is so dedicated to music. But for a true musician, it's more just like, well, what else am I going to do? You know what I mean? I might as well just play music. It's in your DNA as a musician, you know? That's just how our minds work. And my point is that I'm just a regular guy and I don't have an extreme level of discipline. I just have nothing else better to do with my life but be productive. So the first step that you need is to have clearly defined goals, clearly defined hobbies. And, you know, of course, people are coming from an unproductive lifestyle. So step one is just coming up with a list of a couple hobbies that you're interested in. And then what's going to happen after that is you're going to realize that, okay, well, I need to spend at least some time doing these things, because why not? You know, just start with 20 minutes a day, half an hour a day, an hour a day. Because why not, right? But step one is you just got to have the clarity of what you're interested in. Coming up with a list of, I don't know, just a couple hobbies. I'll tell you my list. You know, maybe that'll help you get some ideas or something. You know, so I remember a while back when I wasn't as productive as I am now. I mean, I've been productive for years. It's just been a lifestyle for me of being productive for quite many years now. But I remember it was about this time last year when I lost my jobs due to COVID-19, and I didn't really have much going on. I didn't really have much to do, and I was just, you know, I was starting to stagnate because of that. I didn't have a lot going on, and I needed a new routine. I needed a new system. I also had some injuries, which prevented me from being working out and being active and stuff like that. So I was kind of just sitting around, and at that, you know, I thought to myself, okay, well, what are my hobbies? You know, I need to come up with some hobbies because I'm just sitting around. And okay, so I thought, well, you know, I love the guitar. And at the time, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was depressed and I was in a flat line. You know, I was just kind of in a flat line, stagnation. And I was having a few relapses at the time. And, you know, I was just in a funk. I was in a funky situation. My back was all fucked up. I had hip injury. You know, I couldn't do much. And I was just I lost my jobs. I was in a funky kind of place. And so, you know, the idea of being productive, it didn't really appeal to me. You know, the idea of practicing the guitar, you know, because I was like, well, I don't feel like practicing the guitar. And I don't feel like studying a foreign language, and I just don't feel like doing these things. I don't feel like being productive, and that's the mindset that a lot of people have. And you have that mindset because you don't have clearly defined hobbies, and neither did I. You know, prior to that, for several years, all I did was focus on work. That's all I did. I would say from the years of 2015 to 2020, for 5 years, pretty much all I did with my free time was work. That's all I did. All I did was work. Work. In 2015, my dream was to become a motivational speaker and a life coach and an author. So from 2015 to 2016, all I did was write, and I just kept writing, trying to work on books and just writing, trying to become an author, and just, that's all I did in my free time was write and work on what I wanted to work on, trying to be productive to be successful in life. And then in 2016, I put my books on hold and I said, you know what, I'm going to switch to videos. I think that this might be a bit more lucrative. And so I switched to videos, and all I did for 4 years was make videos and, 8-10 hours a day. Plus, on top of working regular jobs, all my free time was dedicated to making YouTube videos, filming, editing, writing the scripts for the videos, brainstorming the ideas, filming, editing, replying to the comments, replying to emails, coaching people. That's all I did. That's all I did, so my life was dedicated to work. And but then I started getting into Zen and Taoism and non-attachment and Wu Wei and these sorts of things. And so I started making a shift in the direction of my life. It was about 2016 was when I had some breakthrough realizations about the direction of my life. And I realized that I was really, the main reason I was pursuing success was because I was afraid of failure. And, the main reason I wanted a lot of money is because I was afraid of being poor and all these kinds of things. And I was just chasing vain, petty desires and petty egoistic ways. And I realized all that. And so I slowly started shifting my mindset from a kind of a success mindset to more of a Taoist mindset. And so suffice it to say that by the time 2020 rolled around, I didn't have a lot of drive to keep making these nofap videos and to keep making all these videos every single day because, what's the point? It doesn't fulfill me as a person. I don't get fulfillment out of it. I hate making all these videos, dude. For the past how many years, 4 or 5 years, just putting in 8 hours, 10 hours of work every day on YouTube, and I don't like it. It doesn't make me happy. I don't enjoy it. In fact, I hate it. And doing all the live streams and all this endless chatter, talking to people, answering all their questions, and just going on endlessly, it seriously bums me out. It stresses me out. I don't like it. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. It's not cool. I hate talking. I'm not a social person, and I don't like any of it. And so, there's a lot other things personally that went into all of that, why I stopped making videos. Another huge factor is, like I said, just the whole Taoist philosophy of, not obsessing about trying to change the world, trying to change people, because at the end of the day, I have faith in all of you. And I don't need to make 1 million videos, and I don't even care about making 1 million videos, I'm making this video, and why not, help people be productive, and maybe I'll delete it later. Maybe I will, and I don't care. I have no attachment to any of the videos, and I have no attachment to trying to save people's lives. I think that in the end, everything's going to work out just fine, and if you truly want to do nofap, you're going to find the way eventually, and if you truly want to be productive, you're going to find the way, and if you truly want to fix your life, you're going to do it eventually when you finally have the will to do it, and it takes time, but I have faith in all of you. But I'm not gonna obsess about making videos anymore because it doesn't make me happy. It's not fun. I don't think it's cool. It stresses me out. And I'll delete any video that I want whenever I want, without hesitation or attachment. And if I feel like making a video, I'll make one. If I feel like taking it down, I'll take it down. I don't care. I have no attachments to this channel at all anymore. I have no aversions either. But my point is that in 2020, I was in a flat line, and I wasn't being productive. I didn't care about YouTube anymore. I had a lot of injuries, so I couldn't be physically active. I was having some relapses, and I was just in a funk. I lost all my jobs. I didn't have a lot to do. I didn't have a lot going on, and I didn't have a lot of motivation, and I was depressed, and I was, isolation, solitude. For many years, I've been in almost complete solitude, otaku style, and spend most of my time alone in my room doing my own thing, and I was just in a flatline kind of a period with my life. And I know that a lot of you, I know that it took a long time to explain and talk about. It's kind of just, maybe it's not, you might think it's not that important, but the reason why I'm saying all this is because I know that a lot of you guys are in the same situation. You're depressed and, no motivation. You don't got a lot going on. So I just wanted to give you guys tell you where I've been, because I've been in the same boat. I've been in the same situation as all of you guys. And, I've been through all the struggles with, the porn addiction and all the struggles of life. I've gone through a lot in life. So I just want to let you know that, I know what it's like. And it starts by getting clear about what you want your hobbies to be. And like I said, I didn't feel like practicing the guitar. I didn't have the motivation to learn a foreign language, but a lot of people stop there. A lot of people, before they even figure out what their hobbies are, they already have an excuse why they're not going to do it in the first place. So I just give up and I quit, and I'm just going to go fap off to porn. And that's the number one problem why people are not being productive. There's a lot of shit going on to it. Most people are just unconscious, and they don't even think about these things of what my hobbies are or what I want my hobbies to be. But a lot of people have a lot of excuses as well, and it's like, well, why am I going to think about having hobbies? I'm not even motivated, and I'm depressed, and I don't even have a girlfriend, and they have a million excuses of why they're going to quit before they even have a mind to begin in the first place. And you got to put your petty bullshit on on hold. You got to put it on the side because, well, guess what? Like, that's a shitty lifestyle. Just take a clear look at your life. All of this excuse making and nonsense has not gotten you anywhere good. So, okay, you're depressed and you're unmotivated and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, you still need to do something with your life, because what else are you going to do? You're just going to watch TV, eat Doritos, and fap to porn for the rest of your life? Come on, dude. I mean, I'm telling you, you could turn your life around and have a happy, awesome life. And it just starts with having more clarity about the direction that you want to go. So you got to come up with a list of a couple hobbies that you want to get started on. Maybe you already have the hobbies and you're not putting in the effort. Maybe you don't have any hobbies. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just come up with a list of a couple hobbies that you're interested in. So what I did, so I thought, I love guitar, and I didn't play guitar for many years. I started when I was 12. I played off and on for my life, here and there. Prior to 2020, I hadn't played for, 4 years, just because I didn't feel like it. I was just doing different things with my life. But I thought, I like guitar. Guitar's cool, maybe an hour a day. Maybe that'll be all right, And again, I'm telling you, I was not happy. I was unmotivated. I didn't have the drive and the passion and the hunger and the enthusiasm, and I was in a flat line, and I was depressed, and I wasn't feeling good, and I didn't have a lot of energy, and I didn't feel like being productive. Okay, but we have to do something. We can't just do that forever, dude. You got to get off your ass eventually and just start doing something with your life. Otherwise, nothing is ever going to change. So obviously, I knew that. So this was how I started changing things for myself. So I said, okay, I don't want to play the guitar, but if I had to choose a hobby, okay, the guitar is not that bad. It's kind of fun sometimes. I'll just give it a shot. Same with learning a foreign language. I was like, well, I don't really care. Like, yeah, it'd be cool to know a new language, but I don't really feel like practicing and studying. But I thought, okay, well, what else am I doing? I'm just sitting around doing nothing. So I might as well just, maybe start with half an hour a day. Now, okay, I'll study Japanese for half an hour a day. Maybe, stretching. Okay, I'll do some stretching this long a day. Maybe I'll sit outside for this long a day. And you just start coming up with a list. You just sit down at the end of this video or whenever, and it'll take you a little bit of time to figure this out. It might take you a few days, and that's fine. But you just figure out, like, okay, look at your unproductive life and realize that that's not very cool. Like, is it really happy? Is that really a happy life? Is that really a fulfilling life? It's not. Okay, so things need to change. So what are some hobbies that you're going to start working on every single day? And it doesn't have to be every day. You don't even have to work on them at all. But you do have to figure out, what are the hobbies that I want to work on? Even if you have to force yourself to do it, even if you don't feel like doing it, even if it's not fun because you're depressed or whatever. But if you had to choose, what's a couple hobbies that you're interested in? And then, once you figure that out, you're going to start working on it a little bit day by day, because there's going to come a time when you're bored. There's going to come a time when you're sitting around and you're like, well, what am I going to do now? What should I do? And, I guess I'll pick up the guitar for a minute, I guess I'll, turn on a video for a minute or something. And so that's going to be the doorway towards your productivity journey. And, you can try and set a schedule for yourself. You can do that. You can try and set a schedule for yourself. Okay, today I want to play for this long. I'm going to practice for this many hours, and I'm going to do this. And you can work with that. That's what I did at first. Okay, today I'm going to play this many hours of guitar, and I'm going to play this many hours of Japanese, or study this many hours of Japanese, and I'm going to stretch for this long. I'm going to, take a walk. I'm going to sit in nature for a couple minutes. And you can have it like that. You can have it kind of organized, but you don't have to. It's fine if you don't have to. Because eventually that's where you're going to end up anyways. Eventually you're going to end up like me, where all you do is be productive because you realize there's nothing else better to do. And it takes time, because it takes time to change one routine into a new routine. It takes time to change anything into something else. But as long as you have those clearly defined goals and hobbies, that's the starting point. And then once you have that clearly figured out, you're just going to start it's going to be like you're just going to be drawn to it. And it's just going to start taking up more and more of your life. But it's going to be a positive thing. Kind of similar to how junk food and pornography and, excessive watching of television and all that kind of stuff, just like how that becomes a bad habit, this is going to become a good habit. And they both start out small, you know what I mean? No one starts out a porn addict, but these things slowly pull you in. And when you have clearly defined hobbies, that's going to start pulling you into a positive direction in life instead of a negative direction. And just like how pornography and junk food and being lazy and watching too much TV and all that stuff, just like how that consumes your whole life eventually, your hobbies is going to consume your whole life eventually as well. Just like me. You're going to be like a productivity addict. It's not really, I'm just joking, but that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to seem to other people. And it starts with just having clearly defined hobbies. I know I keep repeating that because I want you to understand how important it is and how simple it is. And that's why I keep trying to get it through to you that that's paramount. That's the most important thing when it comes to success in any regard. Having clearly defined conceptions, clearly defined concepts. And in this case, a clearly defined concept of what you want your hobbies to be. And it's they can change over time. That's fine. Your hobbies can change over time. That's totally cool. Sometimes they will. But, in general, just do what you feel interested in. Even if you're depressed, as I said, even if you don't feel like, even if it's not fun, even if you're not having a good time doing these hobbies, just come up with a list of some things that you're interested in pursuing. And then the days are going to pass, the weeks are going to pass, the months are going to pass, and slowly but surely, you're going to start putting in more and more time into your hobbies because you're going to become more and more interested in pursuing those hobbies. Once you have your hobbies clearly defined, that's naturally going to make you want to do them. At first, just a little bit. But then you're going to start seeing how it's fun, how it is good to have hobbies, how it is fun, how it does help to pass the time, how it does make life more enjoyable, how it does make life better and more cool. And so slowly you're going to start becoming addicted to your hobbies. Instead of being addicted to junk food and pornography and wasting time and distractions, you're starting to get more interested in just real goals and hobbies and stuff. And so it's just going to take off from there for you, man. And I'm telling you, eventually it's just going to consume your life. And it's just you're going to slowly start waking up to everything. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people ask me, how are you so productive? Well, because why would I waste my time? That's just dumb. It's not fun. What else am I going to do? Eat junk food? Why would I do that? Why would I eat junk food? Well, it's so good. It tastes so good. Yeah, but that's the same thing. Just like I described being productive, the same thing with food. Maybe, 8 years ago, I started considering the ideas of eating for health instead of eating for pleasure. And I started experimenting with diet and all that stuff. So I've had a long time to contemplate junk food and eating healthy. And, a lot of people see the way I eat and they think, oh my God, like, you eat so healthy. But it's not that I'm disciplined. It's just, why would I want to eat junk food? Like, it makes me feel like shit. It's not even enjoyable. It's just cooked stodge, you know what I mean? It's just fucking crap. It's garbage, eating all this junk food. Like, I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I don't enjoy because I've been experimenting with eating healthy for so long. It's like, why would I want junk food? That's disgusting. It makes me feel disgusting. It's disgusting to eat. Everything about it is just fucking shit and garbage. Why would I want that? I don't want it, and that's why I eat healthy. And, you start getting into fasting and eating for health instead of eating for pleasure. And then, you just kind of fall into the new routine of that. That's what I'm saying. It takes time, but eventually it just becomes your lifestyle. So it's not that I'm disciplined and motivated to eat healthy. It's just I'm tired of eating shitty food. What's the point? The same thing with being productive. People ask me, how can you be so disciplined to just be productive all day long, every single day? And the answer is, well, what else am I going to do? What, I'm going to watch TV some more? Like, I don't like watching TV. It's boring. It sucks. What else am I going to do? you know what I mean? Spend hours binging to porn. Boring, lame. I don't need to do that. I'm not interested. I don't want to do that. And what else am I going to do? Just, like sitting around with distractions, scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and wasting my time and sitting around and texting and meaningless conversations with people and just wasting my life, wasting my time, distractions, TV, junk food, porn, and like, why would I do that? It's not fun. It's not cool. It has no draw to me. There's no appeal. That's stupid. That's fucking lame. Why would I even want to do that? So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm productive. I'm not productive because I'm disciplined. I'm productive because there's nothing else to, like, what the fuck else is there to do? You know what I mean? I have no car. I have no friends. Don't know any girls. I don't have a job. Like, what else am I doing? I have nothing to do. I have absolutely nothing to do other than play guitar, other than study Japanese, other than, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't happen that way overnight. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. It takes time to get into the routine. It takes time to get into the lifestyle of it, to get into the habit of it. And as I said, there was times when I did use extreme discipline to do it. I set a goal, okay, today I'm going to study 5 hours of Japanese and play guitar 5 hours a day. And I did that for months on end as well, just pure discipline. And I did that as well. I did, you know what I mean? So it's not that I'm unfamiliar to discipline, because I have done that as well for months on end every single day. But ultimately, it's not necessary, because eventually you're going to be able to form into the new routine of, living this new productive lifestyle. And that's all it is, man. It's just like no FAP, It's like no one's going to change overnight. But no FAP is clearly defined in your mind. You have a clear concept of a better life. Okay, life is better without internet pornography and excessive fapping and all that kind of stuff, all this perverted nonsense. Life is better without that stuff. So you have a clearly defined idea in your head. And then, you can't just change your life overnight. You can't change yourself overnight, because you've already have all this years of patterns built up within yourself. But, the days go by and the weeks and the months and the years, and slowly but surely you start breaking out of the old way of life and creating a new way of life for yourself. And then, it just becomes natural. It's like, well, you don't want to do PMO anymore. And that's why you do no FAP. And, that's the truth of sobriety as well. It's like with each day that you abstain, your brain rewires a little bit and you slowly recover from the addiction. And I guess it's a similar case for being productive, yeah, man, you start with having a clearly defined concept of what your hobbies are and what you're interested in. And then from there, you're just going to keep... The more that you do these hobbies, the more you're going to compare them to doing other things until you realize that, well, doing these other things is worthless. It's like, why would I watch TV when I can study Japanese? That's the thought that I have in my mind, I had this thought just the other day, I was like, well, maybe I could watch some TV. And I was like, but why would I watch TV when I can study? It was just like studying became more fun because I've just already developed the habit of being productive on my hobbies. And then I realized that the hobbies is more fun anyways. So when I throughout the day, the reason I practice so much guitar is because that's the funnest thing that I have available to me to do. If I had a cool girl to hang out with, I would go hang out with her. And that would be the funnest thing I could do. But even then, I would bring my guitar, so I never stop practicing, dude. It's like, it becomes, like I'm saying, it becomes an addiction. It becomes a lifestyle. You just become hooked on being productive. You become hooked on your goals, hooked on your dreams, and that builds your purpose, and that builds your motivation. But you can't put the cart before the horse. A lot of people are trying to figure out, what is my purpose in life? That's what I'm saying. They read a million no-fap books and everything, and they start, well, okay, what's my purpose? And you're trying to put the cart before the horse, bro. You figure out your purpose much later in life. That's way too complicated right now. What you need is just to come up with a list of a couple hobbies and let that be your gateway into finding your purpose in life and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people, they try and make it too complicated, and then it's too complicated, and then it's too complicated to even start and keep going. And it's simple, bro. It's really fucking simple. If you want to be productive, it's not about being disciplined and listening to the newest David Goggins ebook and being a Marine and like, dude, it's not about that at all. For me, anyways. It's more just about realizing that everything else is stupid. Like, why would I waste my time? Why would I do dumb shit? Why would I waste my life doing dumb things? Yeah, well, sometimes I do because I'm still stupid in some regards. Everyone is, you know what I mean? But a lot of the shit that I used to do that was really dumb, like everyday things that normal people do, quote unquote normal people, I don't do, not because I'm disciplined, but just because I'm really positive that there's better things to do with my life. Now, that's what everyone knows that, though. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, of course, everyone knows there's better things than fapping to porn and eating junk food and watching TV all night. But, okay, well, that's only half of the equation. The other half is creating a new life. And I told you where it starts. It starts with your hobbies. And you slowly just start working on it every single day, man. And eventually, you're just going to become naturally more interested in your hobbies than anything else. And that's how you be productive. It's simple, dude. You don't got to read David Goggins' new ebook and get the discipline of a Marine to be productive. You just have to have clearly defined hobbies. Okay, and over time, eventually you're going to realize, why would I do anything other than my hobbies? Because it's just boring. It just doesn't satisfy me the way that my hobbies satisfy me. So I might as well just keep playing the fucking guitar. And that's what I was saying about musicians. It's like, people think they're so dedicated. It's not really the case. It's just they can't think of anything better to do. Like, well, what else am I going to do? Might as well play some music. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that kind of a thing. So, I'm not trying to be some motivational speaker or life coach and give you life advice. I really don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you how I'm so productive. Because people always ask me, when I tell them that, yeah, I practice guitar for, 8 hours a day and study Japanese a couple hours a day and stretch every day and, take walks and eat healthy and, practice my meditation and people just think, whoa, like, damn, this guy is productive. But, well, what else am I going to do? Fap off to porn and eat junk food and watch TV and be lazy and not do anything? Like, it's just boring. It doesn't fulfill me. It's not satisfying. That's not a satisfying way to live. But people come up with a million excuses. And that's why I can't be productive. And that's why I'm not going to... Well, I have no energy and I'm in a flat line and my girlfriend dumped me and I just relapsed and I'm only on day 5 and I have no energy and my life sucks and it's too hard and too bad for me. And you know what, dude? Good fucking luck getting anywhere with that kind of attitude. Like, dude, it doesn't matter how tired you are. Just shut the fuck up and get busy. Like, that's what I've always told myself. I've dealt with insomnia, for the past couple years. I'm sleeping fine now, but I have dealt with insomnia off and on for the past couple years. And yeah, I've gone, months without a good night's sleep. And there's been several, it wasn't uncommon for me to just not sleep at all the whole night for many days on end. And like, I dealt with extreme insomnia. But okay, just shut the fuck up. I'm exhausted. Okay, shut the fuck up and just get busy. Because It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how tired you are, how depressed you are, how hard your life is, how much struggles you're going through, what happened, what state you're in, what mistakes you've made. It doesn't fucking matter. Just shut the fuck up and get busy. Like, stop being a baby. Stop being a crybaby, complainer. I don't care if you just relapsed, if you've been binging, if you're tired in a flat line, you got broken up with, you got a disease. Guess what? I've had a disease too, Meniere's disease, and it's one of the worst diseases you could ever fucking have, man. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten too drunk on alcohol to the point where everything is spinning. You can't even stand up straight. As soon as you try to sit up or stand up, your head is so spinning, you just fall down. You can't even walk. Your head hurts. Everything is spinning, vertigo, nausea, puking. Yeah, that used to happen to me for days at a time. Days, like 4 days like that. And then 3 days of a lesser version of that. That wasn't uncommon for me with my Meniere's disease. I've got it sorted out now because I sorted out my health issues. But even then, even when I had the Meniere's and I was just spinning for days and days and days, I still studied Japanese for multiple hours a day. I couldn't do anything. I was bedridden. My whole head was spinning in vertigo. I felt like puking for days. Okay, but shut the fuck up, because I'm not a complainer. Stop complaining about how hard your life is, dude. I just thought, okay, there's a lot of shit that I can't do, but what can I do? Well, I can study Japanese. I can just turn on YouTube, put on some Japanese lessons, and go. Even though I'm in a shitty place in life, what can I do? Don't focus on what you can't do. Focus on what you can do. Whether it was my insomnia, having no energy, or whether it was my Meniere's disease, or whether it was a flat line, or whether it was relapsing, or whether it was, any other stupid shit that was going on, any other hardship that I was going through. That's just my mindset. And brings me to my final point of productivity. It's just a fucking attitude. It's just a mindset, bro. Like, yeah, you do need the clearly defined hobbies and all that, but you also need to just not be a little fucking bitch, a little complainer, complaining and nagging and having all these gripes about life and all these excuses of why you're not going to be productive and how life is too hard. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. You sound like a fucking little bitch. Like, shut up and just be... I don't care how tired you are. This is what I've always told myself. Like, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how tired I am. Just fucking practice the guitar. It doesn't matter how unmotivated you are, how depressed, how lethargic, how shitty your life is. Just shut the fuck up and keep practicing. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Because what else are you going to do? Just sit around on your ass complaining, crying, it's too hard, my life sucks, I'm just going to keep fapping to porn. It's like, dude, when are you just going to be a fucking man and do something with your life for once? Tired of these excuses. Tired of all the bullshit, bro. So spare me. Spare me your fucking sob story, because I ain't going to contribute to your pity party. That's what I'm saying. It's a fucking attitude. It's a way of life. It's a choice. Being productive is just a fucking choice that you make, bro. Life ain't always easy. Most of the time it's not. Okay. That's fine. Whatever. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to persevere, and I'm not going to let that stop me from working on my fucking hobbies. I refuse. I refuse to be that pathetic. And so, as I said in the beginning of the video, there's, productivity basically breaks down into two categories. One is your free time, and the other is all the shit that you need to do and all the shit that you ought to do, which a lot of people sweep under the rug and say, well, I'll just take care of that later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later because you're too fucking lazy to do it now. And it's just a choice. It's a way of life. It's just an attitude and a mindset of, what's the point? What's the point of waiting? What's the point of waiting to do this and waiting to do that? You know, my chores, all the things I got to take care of, all the things that I've been neglecting, all the things that I need to do, all the things that I need to work on, all the things that I need to do. Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of shit to do. And being productive is just a choice. It's just an attitude and a mindset of saying, okay, I'm just going to fucking do it. I'm not going to complain. There's no point in putting it off till later, being a lazy fuck, you know, I'll do it later. I don't feel like it, whatever, blah. That's a way of life. That's a mindset. That's an attitude. If you want to change that and be productive, you just got to change your attitude, your lifestyle, and the way that you choose to live, your mindset. Go from a lazy motherfucker to the opposite. You know, if you have dishes to wash, fucking wash them. If you have a room to clean, fucking clean it. What are you waiting around for? What are you just putting everything on hold for? If you got schoolwork to do, fucking do your work. If you got work to go do, fucking do it. If you got shit to take care of, do it. It's that simple, you know. It ain't rocket science how to be productive. You know, a lot of people are gonna see this video. Oh, how to be productive. Gabe's gonna give us the secret, mystical, esoteric teachings to unlock the hidden tools of secret, mystical teachings of productivity. And yeah, dude, it's really fucking simple. If you want to be productive, just make the choice to not be a lazy fuck and do what you need to do and do what you ought to do. If you want to be productive, ditch your fucking excuses, stop being a complainer, and just fucking do it. Get some hobbies, and that's how you're going to get some fucking results, brah. I got nothing else to say. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you next time, bro. Peace.